Okay, so today is the last car show of the season, Cars and Cafe. So this will be the first time me taking the mini truck out on the highway for a car show. She's dirty, but it doesn't matter. I mean, she's supposed to look like a outdoor vehicle anyway. So I'm gonna warm her up, defrost these windows, and we'll head out. So I was at Harbor Freight and I saw this there for sale. It's a trailer net. They also have a full pickup bed cargo net, but obviously this is not a full-size pickup, so I got the trailer one. It's 48 by 72. I'm thinking that might just work for the bed. I think it'll be like a cheap accessory. I think this costs 10 bucks or something like that. So I'm gonna see if it fits, and if it does, I'll just leave it on. Also will come in handy when you have stuff that's, you know, lightweight that could fly off the bed. Not that this thing goes fast enough to do that, but it might just look cool. Alright, so here it is. It helps that the Acty has all these hooks all the way around the bed. It's like it was meant for this. Look, I know it's kind of cheesy, but at the same time, it's cool in a cheesy way. Kind of makes it look like a military vehicle, but more in a practical joke kind of way. So I'm gonna leave it on for the show. See if people comment about it, good or bad. See what happens. Alright, so we're on the way to the car show. I got my cousin Matt in here. He's holding the camera for us. We're going about 90 kilometers right now, so I guess that's just around 50, maybe 55 miles an hour. It sounds loud in here, but if I had the old tires, it would be way louder. You probably wouldn't be able to hear me at all. There's a lot of vibration coming from the steering wheel, so I think I'm gonna have to, with the new wheels and the wheel spacers, I'm gonna have to redo the wheel alignment in the front. Also, the roll cage, I have rusty water dripping onto the cab. I think what I need to do is take the roll cage off and do a rust treatment on the inside of the tubing. So I might actually do that while the weather's still decent, because it's very cold, but at least you know, once it starts snowing, whatever, you just can't paint with that cold weather. I bought a kit from Eastwood to try to spray paint the inside of the tubing. It has like a long plastic tube that you could go inside of like frame rails and things like that. So that's the goal. So we should be at the show in about 10 minutes. So I just want to show you what I'm talking about. See, all that rusty water, it's really bad over there, but that's not rust, it's actually just rusty water. It comes right off. It's not even superficial rust, and you can see it dripped all over the bed. So I gotta kind of wash the bed, but I think the first thing I need to do is take this roll cage off. You can see that it's just dripping, and it makes it look like the actual vehicle is rusting. So, you know, live and learn. The good thing about today, it's dry. It's a cold day and it's dry, so I'm hoping that with driving it and moving and steering, I'm hoping that a lot of that moisture got blown out of the tube. So I think today's the take advantage. I'll take that off the vehicle, and I will try to do the rust treatment. Okay, so here is, take that out of there. Here is what I got. So I got some rust encapsulator. This basically converts rust to a paintable black finish, but what's this? This is just some chassis paint. This is the internal frame coating that I was telling you about. So it's from Eastwood, and basically is an aerosol sprayer, but it's got this long tube with the spray nozzle on the end, and you could like feed the tube into the inside the frame and inside the tubing, and spray this from the inside. So I'm hoping that coating that that tube from the inside will prevent all that rusting that you're seeing. So see if I could get to that today. Thanks. Okay, so I took the roof rack off. You can see this looks like it's really rusted, but if I were to just take a wet cloth, this comes right off. It's not rusted. It's just rusty water that got on it. Now it looks to me like the origin is where these welds are. There's a weld on the inside here and inside here, but there's the powder coating did not like penetrate or seal that opening in there, and I think this tube is actually where the rust is, because if I were to take a peek in here, if I could focus on there, but there's no rust all in there, see? So I think it's actually that cross tube, this cross tube here. So it'll be tough to get in there, but we're gonna try. So what I think I'm gonna do too is try to paint this again, or put some seam sealer in there to see if that could help prevent any additional rusting. If I turn this around, you could see no rust in there, even though, well, let me see if I could get the camera to focus on there. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's see. No rust inside, but I think it's coming from the cross tubes. So I'm gonna blow it out with air, wipe it clean, and see if I could spray some of that Eastwood product that I bought in there. Okay, so I was right. All the water is basically coming from these two cross tubes. So basically, there's not, this seam here is open and water got in there, and it basically just started rusting the tube on the inside. The reason why this one's not rusted is because I sprayed some anti-rust wax grease in there, and that prevented it from getting rust. And I also sprayed some paint in there. So what I think I'm gonna do is, because I don't have any way to get in this tube, because remember it's just butt welded against this piece, so what I'm gonna do is drill 2 holes on the underside so I could put my nozzle to my the paint that I bought from Eastwood and try to get some paint in there using that method. So here we go.
This is a Ryan Little production.
Alright, so this guy here, this cross tube was the culprit. I really didn't see any rusty water coming out of this guy. This guy is the one that was full of water. So drilled the hole, so I'm gonna connect the hose that this came with and see if we could get this done. By the way, the name of this product is Interior Frame Coating by Eastwood. I think it also comes in silver and like a brown color, but I picked the black. Okay, so that nozzle, it shoots a lot of paint out, so it did start dripping through, you know, where I was complaining that the water was getting into. So in any case, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put it back on the vehicle because there's still wet paint dripping from it. I'm going to wait until it's completely dry. I'm going to give it another coat of the gunmetal gray, but what I think I'm going to do is I ordered body sealer that's paintable, so I'm going to wait till that comes in before I do the gunmetal, because I really got it for the fenders on the mini truck, so I ordered white body sealer. So I'm just gonna put a dab of it on these seams where the water was getting into, so that doesn't happen again. And then I also am gonna put these little plastic plugs on the holes that I drilled to get the frame painted on the inside. So what I think I'll do is I'll give it a touch up of the gunmetal gray tonight, let it dry in the garage overnight, and then I'm just gonna clean the rest of the pickup that's full of that rusty water everywhere. I don't want it to stain the paint job, because it will stain. Alright guys, so here's the roof rack. It's painted, but you can see it just got dark. I ran out of daytime, or I ran out of light, and looks like the paint, that the inner rail paint is still wet and it's still leaking. And if it's leaking out, that means that moisture could still get in. So I tried to rush it. I had some paintable silicone here that I tried to use, but this is what happens when you rush a job. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit here probably until next weekend, let it completely dry, wait for that body sealer to come in, or seam sealer to come in, redo the edges here, give it another touch up of paint, maybe sand down these runs, because you can see even though I painted over them, you can still see them. That's actually because there's a thickness to it, and it on the metallic paint it really shows it. I also gave a coat of paint to the roof basket because I never had that was still with the black powder coating. But basically that's it. So I want to apologize. This video was today was all over the place. I really didn't plan out what I was going to be doing today. The video was just going to be me going to the car show, taking it out on the road, giving you some feedback, and it was going to be a short video. But then when I had the issues with the that rusty water dripping from the roof rack, I figured let me tackle it because it was a nice day today. It was cold, but it was a sunny day, so and it wasn't a humid day, so I figured let me try to get some paint on it. But yeah, it was just too rushed. So apologies, and hopefully the next time I post something it'll be a little bit more conjoined than this was. But thanks again.